Hello everyone, welcome back. Heir of Stank here. Yes, I'm Heir of Stank now. That's what I get for playing a campaign that is led by Mother Ostankya, the Hag Witch, but I guess that she and I share some things in common. Clearly I stink. And then also, I mean, in the realm of Ugly Mug, what do you all think? Here, I'm looking at the little porthole down here in the bottom left. Me or Mother Ostankya? Who's got the other uglier mug? So feel free to get down in the comments. Let me know. We're going to continue this. It should be fun, and I'm looking forward to it. I actually really like playing as Mother Ostankya. I find her, like the way she plays and the where she's playing, all that kind of stuff, I find it rather enjoyable. I'm going to create some of these incantations here so that we can continue to spend. Remember, this is how we're going to gain victory. We have to spend enough spirit essence to unlock all of these big chants or curses up here. So we're working on that. We need to see... I do have a lot of money, so I'm going to check for buildings. Yep, got one here. And I'm going to end the turn. And I will be getting to some of your comments, which, as always, I appreciate your comments. For now, I'm not cutting out the turn-ins because I'm trying to get to your comments during the turn-in. But another thing that I'm going to try hard to do is I realize that sometimes I probably don't always explain myself very well, like in terms of why I'm doing what I do. So I want to try and improve on that as I go into these. So during the turn end, I'll try to address the comments or during loading screens. And then as far as the explanation of what I'm doing and trying to help it make sense for those who may not be familiar with it, I will make sure to focus on that while I'm playing, of course. So let's continue things in that order. So the DLC has been out for a few days now. I am hoping that you all will share thoughts with me on how you're finding it. Do you like it? Was it worth it? Did you not buy it? All thoughts, please share those in the comments. I know some of you have already started to do that, and it is much appreciated. I'm actually going to go ahead and attack the Skaven up here. I can't leave Skaven on one of our flanks. That is a very bad idea. We're not totally sure of their full strength, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and attack them regardless, because they are stinking, festering rats, and they deserve no less. I cannot reach them. That one ran away. Hang on, Mother Ostankya. Was he on this side? It looks like we didn't cross the bridge. I thought we were supposed to cross... I can't tell if we're across the bridge or not. But I can't attack anyone else. No, we did not cross the bridge. I guess that other Skaven stack was on this side of the bridge, so that was kind of annoying, actually, but we'll make it work. We got across there. Let's check for buildings once more, and there is an upgrade that we can take care of. Let's take care of it at Bleakhold Fortress. This building's going to be in the wrong settlement, so we'll need to move that eventually as well. Let's go in here and work on our incantations, and I like this one. It's like a passive that spreads damage to others. This one is a speed buff. We just, like I said, want to create as many of those as we can. As long as we're fighting a lot of battles, we'll be able to get plenty of Spirit's Essence. Some of you may be wondering, Air, how come you're not using that one that's available? It requires that the enemy army has to be in my territory, which there is no enemy army in my territory. So that's why I haven't used this one. I haven't had the circumstance available to use it. Okay, I'm going to end a turn, and I'm going to go ahead and get to some of the comments here. The first one was from Nick, who says, I'm going to go against the crowd and say it's good Mother Ostankya has limited unit options. It means to make top-tier armies, she must make allies, which to me is narratively satisfying. What do you all think? Nick thinks that he likes it that way. So he's basically saying she's a sub-faction and isolated geographically and culturally from the rest. So, yeah, kind of, you all tell me what you think of that. That was Nick's take, because I know some people were thinking that perhaps maybe it's a little too difficult for her to get those Kislev units. I don't want to share my thoughts on it yet, and if I have already shared them, then I guess you know them, but I'm not going to share my thoughts on it at the moment. Give you all a chance. Throw yours out there, and it doesn't feel like I'm trying to sway that one way or the other. We are going to fight a lot of rats here. The settlement garrison's nearby, and the Tomb Kings are moving on the settlement. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this settlement and decide whether I want to deal with the Tomb Kings. I'm going to have to go look at their standing in terms of, you know, like the diplomacy. That's what it is that I'm looking for. I could auto-resolve this. Let's go face stomp some rats real quick, and it'll allow me to get to one more here as well. But thanks for the comment, Nick Francesco. Thank you for being the longtime channel subscriber here. Got that gold shield rocking next to your name. He says, those were some great battles, Air. Can't wait for you to teleport to other forests and travel the world with the Mother and Kevin. Yeah, when we do get that one, it would give us the option of warping back to Kislev area, I think into like Dryka's forest. And then we would have the option to either confederate ally with or whatever in order to unlock those Kislev units. And I would like to do that, so we will certainly take a look at how we can possibly get that done. We have several Akshina ambushers that can Vanguard deploy, but not within range of the enemy, unfortunately. Kind of a weird deployment, honestly. It's like there's more than one line. It's kind of strange. Anyway, yeah, very odd. Let's go ahead and get things set up. I'm going to go Akshina ambusher. And then the Boydanov's Brawlers. I love the Boydanov's Brawlers and Akshina Ambushers. Cool units indeed. The Brawlers, of course, have a lot of armor, which makes them a little more sustainable in melee, but the Ambushers, for whatever reason, I don't know what drives them per se, but they do exceptionally well in melee. I find that I don't have a whole lot of worry with them. I'm actually going to leave this unit in reserve, able to move it to where I need it. I like having Kevin in a position to get involved quickly, and then I like having some of these things in the woods on both flanks, and then spiders down both flanks, of course. Okay, and now we could run some spiders. No, there's no crossing over there. Looks like there's only one crossing here, so this is a true choke point. Here's Mother Stinky. Patriarch. Let's keep the Patriarch close to Kevin for those heals. There we go. Awesome. Alright, this should work. Let me get my skirmish units into a defensive stance. And I put my skirmishers into a defensive stance because when you click in order for them to shoot at an enemy unit, if that unit moves out of range, they will not pursue it. It's quite handy at keeping your units from making a pursuit that they shouldn't and breaking formation and getting killed. So if any of you are wondering why I always take pain to put them in a defensive stance, that is why. That is why. I kind of want to get a piece of these guys from range. I feel like that between the Akshina and the Boydanov's Brawlers, that the Skaven are not going to want to stand off with me for any extended period of time. They do not have a lot of armor. I don't know how great their shields are, but I also think I'm going to outrange them. I'm going to bring Mother Ostankya and this Hag Witch up, let them start taking some shots here too. Yeah, see there, I can start getting some shots in here. There's the Akshina. And I'm going to move Kevin kind of right up front too. I'm going to kind of move in and out of range here. Just kind of keep dumping on these guys. Let's actually do a transformation of Kaden and go start disrupting some of their skirmishers early. Alright, when that unit gets up. Okay, and there we go. I'm going to send that in, and then I've got a summon ability here. Come on, get back there. Get them. And then let's go disrupt their formation. So I'm going to try and disrupt and hold their formation in this choke point with the intention of letting my skirmishers basically just bury these units from range. I don't have a lot of magic available, but I do have this Assault of Stone, which is a bound spell that'll do very nicely right here. Let's watch that go off. Okay, let's roll Kevin in here. Oh yeah, that Assault of Stone was brilliant. I do have enough magic left for a little Flock of Doom action there. Alright, the Skaven are getting absolutely massacred right now. Like, this is borderline war crimes here. When I say borderline war crimes, it's not actually borderline. Like, I mean, this is just definitely realm of war crime here. Look at their lord about to get shot up real bad. Excellent. Alright, I just lost one of my summon units, but that's okay. They did a spectacular job. We just got their lord with all of our skirmishers. I'm going to keep moving around a little bit here and let my skirmishers do some of this work for me here. There's no need to just let all these guys just sit here and melee, because we can bury their units. How is this, like, is this a thing over here? Alright, there we go. Alright, there goes the brawlers. They're gonna bury that chieftain. Alright, we got rid of that unit that kind of regrouped on my flank there. Alright, there's a few more units rolling down, so I'm going to push my units back down here. I was allowing my ranged units to work their magic. This assassin wants a piece of my things in the woods, but I don't think he actually wants a piece of the things in the woods. I don't think that is a thing that is actually preferable for the Skaven here. Yeah, this turned into an absolute massacre, to say the least. There we go. Let's move on up. Yeah, as I thought, that assassin picked the wrong target. Picking the anti-infantry, anti-armor, monstrous infantry as a small infantry unit, and armor wasn't even a factor here anyway. Probably not the wisest choice. But to be fair to the AI, are they really left with a wise choice of what to attack in this battle? And I believe the answer is no. No, they are not. Like, they don't have a good choice on what to do here. We've got them dead to rights from range. We've got them dead to rights in a close-up melee. Dead is a word that these Skaven are going to be quite familiar with. There we go. Let's keep dropping out some more magic. Kind of work these Skaven down. They keep getting units back from routing, which is a little bit surprising to me, to be honest. But that's the end of that, and that will be an absolute massacre of the rats. A rat massacre, if you will. And that's the way we like it. That's the way we like it. That range damage is potent, and so we wanted to put it to good use there. And I feel like that was put to quite good use. Alright, let's get to Inductive Grunt here, who says, "Great to see another episode of Mother Ostankya. She's definitely my favorite legendary lord here, even when she lacks a Hag Lord character and some Ungol units. But if you're interested in a Boyar for a new army, how about Ungol Boyar Dan? Don't know why I thought that about that yesterday for some reason. You could just even recruit Dan and no units, and have the income to give him an army of regular Kassars, dervishes." That'd be kind of funny. I mean, we will have to get a Boyar, and I don't see why we couldn't name him Boyar Dan at this point, just to go along with Kevin, since we've kind of already gone down that road. Maybe he can get some elemental beast into his army and do something similar. I don't really think we need the replenishment here. We don't really need the money, though, either, and 3 Spirit Essence is not going to break the bank, so I guess I'll just take the replenishment. And then you can see that Grand Poobah Katep here wanting to take over Tyrant Peak, but I'm going to take this. There's another Skaven army in distance that kind of moved away. I'm going to go ahead and auto-resolve this. I don't really think there's much of a point here. Hierophant Katep is going to join me in the beatdown, so appreciate his services there. I'm going to occupy this settlement, and this will give me a chance to kind of look at Katep and decide what we think about him in terms of, would I allow him as a neighbor? What kind of choices is he making? So, like, I want to make good, for instance, if possible, with the sisters. I think it'd be really cool since, you know, we hail from the woods and are defending the woods. I think it'd be cool to make friends with the sisters of Twilight here. That would be nice indeed. Let's see what the effects are here. Gifts given. Prove. We still can't convince them to get into a non-aggression pact with us. They don't have any wars, so they are not particularly aggressive at the moment. We could just, like, offer a payment here, like, just give them a gift. This is quite a bit as it is, but let's just hand them a gift and see if we can just kind of work things along with them here. What is... It still goes all the way down to 3.7. What happens if I make that... Like, how much of a gift? Okay, way more than I want to pay here. We could do it. We could, like, hand them all of our money and get them on board, but I don't know that I'm willing to hand them all of the money at the moment, but I will go ahead and just give them this and see if they'll start to come around to us. We've got to get them out of the negative here. They're a neighbor to us, and so that's why I was looking at Katep. Had he declared war on them, you know, what was he up to? So I'm going to keep an eye on Katep and see what we can do in terms of trying to get that relationship struck with the Sisters of Twilight. Alright, I'm going to take the money that I did not hand to the Sisters, and I'm going to spend it improving the Moon Shard, which I'll now get more trade goods. We'll have logs. Yes, logs from Mother Ostankya's army. What kind of logs? I guess the game... Did they? Okay, timber mill. Okay, good. So it's not the other kind of logs that can be found in the forest latrine, fortunately. And there's your crappy dad joke of the episode for anybody who was looking forward to it. Air delivered, and now you probably wish that you hadn't heard it. Alright, so unassigned skill points. Let's get to our Mother Patchy with extra stank. I love that name. Let's see here. We've got the Arcane Conduit. We've got all of that higher tier magic. There's Protective Charms here, which takes away attrition suffered. Is modified by an additional minus 10%. So, I mean, not taking attrition is always a good thing. Pan's Impenetrable Pelt is... Amber Spear is kind of fun. Like, it's not amazing, but it's kind of fun. Let's look at Wood Warden. That one's actually pretty good. I mean, picking up 20 armor and getting the Woodsman attribute. Can pass through trees. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's pick Woodsman. And let's see here. For Mother Ostankya.
Yes, dear.
We got her folklore thing. We got Forest Purity, which takes minus 50% chaos attrition. Embodiment of the Forest gives extra ammo during forest battles and gives Woodsman to the entire army. That's pretty cool as well. It looks like I was trying to work on, yeah, Quartermaster, which makes sense, dude. Let's do that. And that way we can get a second army, and we can use the next thing to send this one to the magical forest in the homeland while still having some kind of army. I guess going to be led by Boyar Dan over here. Is that like Forrest Gump, Boyar Dan? You know, like Lieutenant Dan? Maybe we can get a hag witch that's like Mrs. Gump or something. I don't know. The movie's kind of old at this point for a lot of you. It's kind of old for me, and I'm old. In any case, Daggy says it might help you out to get more beast recruitment and replace the spiders with polar bears. They are pretty good. Now, the polar bears aren't bad, and they have different uses. However, I'd like to point out a couple of things with the spiders before I get used to them. Now, the bears are fun. I definitely usually put some in the army, but if you look at the spiders, these dudes have 90 armor. Okay, 86 speed. And then significantly good melee attack that is both magic and poison at 43. 46 defense is pretty solid. And then I get armor-piercing weapon strength, 25 AP, and a 48 charge bonus. That is significant. Like, that is a very significant. Plus, look, we haven't even gone in here yet into this. Look at Spider's Kiss here. I'm going to hold this here for a second. And then look at the effect here, the Spider's Kiss. It slow death. It won't actually show it here, but it starts to basically work as like a bit of a mortis effect when they bite something. It starts to poison away hit points, and they cause terror. Spiders are profoundly powerful. Now, if I take a look at the tree, because let's address all of the comment, I think it'd be worth it. Let's take a look what the bears offer. See, only 35 armor, roughly the same speed, or same speed. Definitely better weapon strength in terms of like total damage, and then the AP is even better because it being 35, and then you do get a bonus versus large. Melee defense is a little lower, melee attack is a little higher, and charge is a little lower at the moment, though that may go up when I recruit these, because remember that some of the units in my army are receiving buffs. Essentially, though, the spider with that poison and Spider's Kiss, and then the 90 armor, it makes them very survivable. The reason why I usually bring the bears in, and there's different kinds of bears, I usually bring them in so that we can use them for anti-large specifics. But I like to bring in the warbear riders at that point because they not only get the anti-large, but they get dedicated AP and an even more powerful attack with the armor. But that said, are the bears good? Yeah, they're good, and you can put them to use. Their armor, is not very high, understandably so. It's just a bear. So unless they had like Kevlar fur or something, I don't know how their armor would really be higher. I mean, this is a fantasy land, so I guess we don't have to make everything make sense. But regardless, this is annoying because he didn't ask for...
Who calls?
He's gonna run down here and snag this settlement from right in front of me, which is irritating. I can't reach it on this turn. I could, if they were in my territory, I could demand that they leave. Kind of irritated with them. I don't really know what to think about. This kind of stuff makes me mad with AI just like goes past you trying to grab stuff. That definitely irritates me. So yeah, I'm gonna have to see. I'm not very happy about that. I'm gonna have to decide how I'm gonna react, and part of me thinks that I'm just going to go ahead and kill off the Tomb Kings here. So I may do that. Let's see what they do on this turn, and then I might just finish them up. Because I don't want them sitting on my back doorstep here. So far, at least, there wouldn't be a penalty for me doing anything to them with the sisters. But, you never know. If they finish their war here, they might turn around and decide that they want... Ooh, this gives weapon strength to things in the woods. Let's do that. Oh, I forgot to make my little incantations. My bad. Anyway, let me grab a comment real quick while we're on the turn-in. This one's going to be from Senshi. Says, in Episode 3, we find Zeta Jones, or Ancilia Jewel Marathi, eliminated in the beauty contest, one step closer to the wooden crown of Ostankya. That's right, Mother Ostankya and myself are definitely fighting for the crown of ugliest mug in the Warhammer world, so make sure to get your vote in. Thank you, Senshi. Thanks for being such a long-time channel supporter. Another one rocking that awesome gold shield. So, what we can do here is a couple of things. I can actually declare war on these guys, and then they will end up being in my territory as an enemy. Let's just make sure that nothing's changed in terms of... Yeah, they have no relationship to the Sisters in the Wood. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the bony boys. Alright, let's see. You're gonna declare war. Sorry, Hierophant. You stepped across the line, and I was probably gonna attack you anyway, but while I'm here, let's just get it done. Alright, so it says medium here. The Hierophant Katep is in the battle. Agony Secession is the one that passes on some of the Entropus. Okay, there we go. So this one is the one that starts to take away spell mastery and increase miscount cast chest every time they cast a spell. So I'm going to actually stick this on Katep, and then I'm going to stick another one on one of his Lich Priest. And then as far as the charge bonus reduction and physical resist reduction, if I look here, these knights here, we should put that on them. I don't see any chariots, so we can just stick that on some of the Nehekara warriors, and then I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. So I'm going to do some serious debuffing, and then we're going to do some buffing on our end too, just for fun. So a 25% charge bonus and Ember Dread, which that's a pretty cool thing there too. That would go good on Thing in the Woods, I believe. And then Unburdened Step is going to let us pass over terrain with Strider and give Devastating Flanker. So I think that would go well on my Spiders. And then when I look at this one here, Extra Leadership, Resistance, and Bear's Bulwark. So if I take a look at Bear's Bulwark, that gives an extra mass and charge, 20 charge bonus. That would go good on these infantry that are going to go toe-to-toe. And then also that would kind of be fun here on Kevin. So let's just let that fly. We'll use up all our incantations here because we'll be able to make more. And we'll just demonstrate how effective we can be against the Grand Hierophant here. And then we're going to use that other curse, the Coven's Curse Mark, I think it was called, and we'll use that on the other army of Tomb Kings. And I'm going to get one more comment while we're loading into this one. A Thomp says, I'm ready for an Empire Napoleon return, maybe medieval. I know there's Joaquin Phoenix movie out in November about Napoleon. It seems like the demand for it may be there, depending on how it does in theaters. I agree. I think that would be an excellent historical one to revisit. I think it would be a lot of fun, and they could potentially make it amazing by, like, say, starting off with like a European theater, and then, instead of releasing like a trilogy of games like they did for Warhammer, maybe what they could do instead is just release the game in a very updated, solid engine, and an engine that's ready to move on into the future, right? And then they just start adding theaters to it, and that's the DLC, is like expansions. So you start out in the European theater, and then maybe they add like North Africa and Africa as a theater, and then maybe they add the Americas as a theater, and then India, and like you could just start adding all this awesome stuff. Maybe like a big Russian one where it goes, deep into the Russian campaigns. And so like I feel like that they could do a lot of fun stuff with that and make stuff very interesting. But, we'll see. We'll see what they're up to next. I'm actually going to deploy my spiders out here since I can, and there's no need to bog them down in there. Alright, so I got the things in the woods all lined up. Mother Ostankya, Patriarch. What do you all think as far as the next historical time frame? Where are you at on that? I know a lot of people are probably just going to say Medieval 3, and that's understandable. But yeah, I definitely think... And they could do something similar with Medieval, by the way, right? They could start it out in Europe, which was obviously the theater that probably most of us are familiar with, or maybe one of the most popular ones. And then they could expand it from there and do something similar. Holy cow, like, why is it... That is so bright. I have not... Is this something, like a bug they reintroduced or something? I haven't even seen this since I've been playing the early access. This is terrible. Like, it is so over bright. I know that they had an issue with this at one point, but it supposedly had been fixed. Wow, I can't even see my screen because it is so screwed up. CA, please. CA, please. Yeah, this is absolutely atrocious, the way how bright that is on the screen. Okay, I'm going to move up. We don't want to sit at long range from Katep because he can bombard us. But speaking of bombard, they have balled themselves up into a rather nice blob here, so I'll see if I can put the Assault of Stone on it and basically make these all pay a pretty big price here. We'll see. Oh yeah, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad at all. I got some work done. Alright, it's going to be difficult for me to see the screen in this particular battle. I'm going to hard group these. And I'm going to go ahead and give an attack here. Trying to get my spiders up all the way around the flank. Let's go ahead and take our hags in and kind of bury the enemy. Give them something to think about here. My hard group is moving up. Alright, looking good. I'm actually going to target down some of their own skirmishers here. And the brawlers are going to have to get to the top of the hill. And then let's roll the spiders in from behind back here. And we got attacked out here already. I wasn't quite ready for that. But let's pursue it. And let's send this unit right up the middle. Try and pull my Streltsy up. Okay. Mother Ostankya is causing some good damage. Oh yeah, Streltsy got over the top of the hill and started lighting them up. Comes the things in the woods. Let's get after that Nehekara warrior. Another thing in the woods. Let's get in here and here. I apologize that you can't really see what's going on here, but at the same time, that seems like it's a little bit out of my control at the moment. Because I'm stuck with what CA decided to give me here in terms of extremely high brightness in the snow, which again I thought was something that was brought up earlier in the game and supposedly fixed. So I'm a little surprised to see it going down here. Nonetheless, we're in good shape. They used an ability on me, which stopped my recharge. We just killed Katep there. I believe that was Kevin's doing. See the high armor on the spider, how useful that is? So even though they're up against spears over here, look at how that high armor saves them. Oh my gosh, that is just awful. Like, I cannot see. That is really bad. There is not enough CA, please, to cover how bad that is. Let's actually take it easy back here. You're actually killing me. And there goes the crumble. And that is going to be the end of the Grand Hierophant and his army. Not exactly surprising result there. And let's see here. Let's grab another comment here. Stephen Matuk says, I feel bad for CA. Their statement indeed was terrible. There's not doubt, but it's not like the company as a whole deserves to be disbanded or shut down just because of this one mistake. And even then, people make mistakes. So that is a good point, I think. And let me point out a couple of things. So I'm not... I agree 100%. The statement was stupid. It didn't need to be released. And if that was your statement, you're better off with your mouth shut. Like, don't say anything at all. And that should have been painfully apparent. And it is a PR miss of unparalleled stupidity. Now, that said, that doesn't mean that I hate the people at the company. In fact, quite the opposite. I've worked with them for a number of years, and CA has taken its creator program and reached out to tons of creators to where back in the day, it was just myself and a few others who were even creating this content. They expanded it to people, they gave a lot of people early access, and that probably helped generate a ton of the channels that you all now see and love that are creating content. It helped make like a bigger community around it. Like, all those things were good. And the way that they run that creator program is constantly improving, and they're always taking feedback from us. The managers of it are fantastic, and CA clearly puts a lot of effort into it. And it's appreciated. And then, you know, because they put a lot of effort into that, we are able to bring you all a whole lot of content coverage that, you know, kind of comes from a third party and lets you see things from, you know, different biases, I'll say. I wouldn't say unbiased. All of us have a bias, but from different standpoints, maybe is the right way to say it. So I like that, and I think that's good. And then I look at, like, the work on this DLC, for instance. The work that went into it's good. Are there a few things I can critique? Sure, and I have. Like, about how cool it'd be if the spiders could climb the walls, you know, how neat it would have been if they would have done, you know, some of these other little things that we talked about along the way, like adding a few more units, so on and so forth. Yes, there's critique to offer there, but on the whole, was the work that they did on this DLC bad? No, absolutely. Absolutely not. The work on this DLC is good, for the most part, and I find it quite fun, and I think a lot of other people do too. I think that I don't know, you know, what goes on inside C, and none of us do. There's going to be a lot of people who claim to. In fact, I watched a review the other day, and I'll leave names out because I don't want to seem like I'm attacking someone, but I was watching a review that one of my peers made, and they basically went on to claim how, you know, CA is doing this, CA is doing that. They're not paying people right. Everybody's... They don't know that. They don't work for them. And that's a very common thing I see on YouTube, where people go and start making all these claims that they can't possibly know, but they do it because it's a popular thing to say whenever people are mad at someone. It's easy to go and dunk on someone when people are mad at them, and it basically sets you right in the middle in an opinion that most people are going to agree with. It's like a very safe way of garnering up a lot of support behind you. Now, could they actually feel that way? Sure, they could actually feel that way too. They may not be doing it just to try and, you know, get activity or whatever. So again, none of these are an accusation or me being mean. I'm just saying I don't do that kind of thing because I don't work for Creative Assembly. I have no idea what goes on behind their doors. I don't know their budgets. I don't know what they pay people. I don't know what their leaders say. I don't know a lot of these things. I work at a large company. I have a pretty good idea of how decisions have to be made within these large companies and kind of some of the different challenges that you run into when trying to get things approved in a large company, because I have had to do it myself. Does that mean CA is just like mine? No. I have no idea. And so, no, I don't think it's a good idea or a right idea for people to start assuming all these things about Creative Assembly, because you can't possibly know. Now, can you be mad at them for putting out a statement like that? Sure, absolutely. And rightfully so, because the statement was stupid. But let's not go crazy and start assuming that we know all these things about how they're actually doing business behind the curtains and accusing, it's so-and-so's fault, or it's these leaders' fault, or it's, it's the top people. They're taking all the money and stuffing it in their pockets. We have no idea, and we don't know that, okay? We just don't. We don't know what their increased costs are. We don't know what all the kind of programs, whether they've had to pay into R&D for things. Like, we have no idea. None. So that is a pointless world to get into, in my opinion, in terms of all that speculation, and doesn't do any good. But is it okay to be mad at them, feeling like that communication was wrong and pig-headed? Yeah. And that's all there is to it. It just doesn't have to go farther than that. So I agree with you in the sense that I've seen a lot of people attacking CA as a whole, as a company, or attacking specific people in CA. You just don't know enough to be making those attacks, and you're going out on a limb that you can't possibly back up. So I don't buy it. So, and that's why I don't do that type of thing as well. And the only reference points I have as far as direct contacts at CA, and I've had quite a few because I've worked with them in person many times in recent years, and with all those direct contacts, I haven't had bad contacts. All the workers that I've met while we were out love the games, and they love making the games, and they're very proud of it, and they want to show it to you, and they're excited, and they sit there and they take our feedback. They're like writing it down and taking feedback. That's all I've run into. Does that mean that the whole company is that way? No, it doesn't. Like, in fact, there's probably a guarantee it's not. I work at a large company. There are fantastic people there, and there are really trash people there. That's just the real world. But again, without having direct knowledge of it, I don't see how you can go off making, statements and stuff about, this is exactly what CA is doing. No, because we don't know that. So I don't know what made them make the statement. I don't know who approved the statement. I don't know why they put out the statement. I don't know if it was actually threats in the statement. It sure kind of sounded like it. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. We should get away from the statement. But hopefully that gives you all some thoughts on that end. And again, I am not bashing on any of my peers who may decide to go and say things like that. They are free to do so. I'm telling you why I don't, and why I don't think it's a good idea. But again, I'm not the one that makes the rules or tells people how they have to do things, and that's all there is to it. Let's see here. I am going to position these characters here. I'm going to want my spiders to intercept those chariots. We are going to once again shred these guys pretty thoroughly. I'm going to go ahead and hard group all these units, and I'm just going to give them like a general attack order here, and then I'll fix their orders up as we move forward. That should help me micromanage. So if you'll notice, I put all these units in a group by pushing Control-G, and then when I right-click an attack order with them, they will independently go and target units, and then I can basically kind of just correct the, their movements and stuff here. So like right here, I'm gonna go ahead and start handing out orders because I don't exactly like how my units are pursuing orders at the moment. So I'm gonna dish those out. All right, there we go. So a lot of my units doing some weird stuff. That, sometimes you get a really good order, but like right here where the AI ran their lord out ahead of the bunch, that made my assault kind of a weird one there. They got a stinking chariot behind me here. That's not good. Let's dump some fire here over on that chariot. And we are pretty well dumpstering across the board. And I'm gonna keep dishing out the magic here. Drop that. Let's put a summon out here. I'm gonna put an assault to stone back here. Awesome. There we go. That should finish cleaning things up. I got a spider back over here to help with the chariots. Alright, it's a little bit of an ugly start because my AI attack order, while I was hoping it would give you all a good demonstration, actually demonstrated what sometimes happens, which is that your characters get a little bit befuddled and make some very poor decisions. But you can correct it. The reason is like I got all my units moving in the right general direction, and then I was able to basically just give corrective orders where necessary. So even if the AI gets it right only like 30% of the time, well, it's still now 30% of my units that I don't have to be issuing orders to. So that's why you can use it. Anyway, there goes their Lich Priest and all the rest of their forces. Another crushing defeat for the Bone Boys. And that one's going to be probably the end of the time that I have for this episode, so I do hope you all enjoyed it, and I do appreciate the comments. I guess I can grab one more here before we go. Alan, thanks for being such a long-time viewer and supporter. He says, also trying to get a unit out of combat. Try getting units out of combat when they're on guard mode. I'll keep that in mind. He's talking about when I had a thing in the woods stuck in combat and it almost just wouldn't release. He said, try putting it in guard mode, so thanks for the tip. I will try and give that a shot. But there we go. We crush the Bone Boys' main armies. Tomb Kings can get an army back together relatively quick, I believe, the way that they recruit. So we might expect to see more of them here in the next couple of turns, despite having just dealt them major blows. So let's go ahead and push closer to their territory, and we will call it good for now. Again, feel free, leave your comments down there. I love hearing from you. Hopefully you all don't mind hearing back from me, and then let me know, did I do a better job explaining some things today? Is there other things you want to hear me explain while I'm playing? I'm happy to do it. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll see you soon with some more action in Total War Warhammer 3.